Could be.
Who knows? But if
you
could be.
But if you
I know who
replace Scottie Pippen with another all-star.
This isn't a 2K simulation, Rich Paul. You can't just plug it in and say, okay, we remove Scottie Pippen from NBA history and see what happens. It's not that. This is real life. All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you all are having a good day so far. So, a little birdie in the comment section of a different video let me know that Eric Smith mentioned me in this actual video, which is titled LeBron Sends Rich Paul Out to Slander Michael Jordan Again. So, yeah, okay. So, I wasn't going to talk about this topic again, but in this case, since I'm being mentioned here, I figure I might as well go ahead and do this. It feels right. And also, you got to hear what Scap's opinion on this was. You got to hear what my opinion was. So I'll chill a little more in the background on this reaction, and we'll get to see what Eric Smith thinks about this. I have a good idea he's not going to like it. Because if you guys don't know, this is the whole Rich Paul basically saying that Scottie Pippen was, what was it, more valuable, more crucial, more, I don't remember what the hell word that Snake said, but he said something. The gist of it was Scottie Pippen was more important to Chicago's success than Michael Jordan was. That's the gist of it, which is absolute like BS slander. And anyways, let's get on with this video, okay? let's move forward. Guys, I'm linking the original video from Eric Smith down below. Full channel name, Eric Smith Sports Training. That's going to be down below in the description. And yeah, you also see a list of channel members down there. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you all. Guys, hype the video, like the video, all that good stuff. It really helps out the video a ton. And you guys crushed it last month for me. I really appreciate it. I was getting back out into the algorithm. Anyways, I appreciate you all. And let's do it.
Well, guys, in honor of the first player of the under-25 generation to show MJ-like traits, Victor Wembanyama making his first NBA Finals, we have to discuss MJ and Rich Paul today. The interesting part about the rise of the videos like this Jubilee stuff, where 20 LeBron lovers debate people like Skip Bayless, you get to hear all the different reasonings and mental gymnastics people do to support who their GOAT is.
By the way, real quick note, it's been bothering me about Wemby fans. Guys, I'm a huge Wemby fan. I have been since day one. I've got I've got a ton of his cards. I've been following him very closely, as you guys know. For all you hardcore Wemby fans, guys, stop calling him the GOAT. It's embarrassing. Like, learn what GOAT stands for, what it's an acronym for, and stop using it so damn lightly. Guys, he's played 3 years. Chill. Just enjoy the show.
I know most of those who have Michael Jordan as the GOAT bring up his 6 for 6 in the finals and mention LeBron's 2011 finals collapse against the Mavs, where Skip famously always says the chosen one became the frozen one.
Yeah.
But there is an extremely sad reality about the 2011 finals that nobody talks about. LeBron James, to me, earlier in his career, didn't really care that much about championships. I think he just wanted to be an elite player, and he wanted to have fun and enjoy the love of the fans that comes along with being great and famous. But at a certain point, where he had back-to-back #1 overall seeded teams in the playoffs, the outside noise about LeBron labeling himself the king but having no rings was starting to get loud. As much as I love MJ and Kobe's killer mentality, I liked LeBron also back then.
I did too.
In anything in life, it's good to have people with multiple different personality types and mental makeups in any elite field.
Yeah, I'll always say back then in the early Cleveland days, I was hoping he would overcome his choking. I'll put it so simple. So it's why when people insist that he doesn't choke, I'm like, guys, it's been happening since the beginning. But I really had hope that he would get over it. But then he used a cheat code, and instead he teamed up with Dwayne Wade, so he didn't have to worry about choking anymore. You know, he teamed up with the clutch guy to make up for it. So at that point, I pretty much gave up.
If everyone was a killer on the court, sure, it would make for great competition, but it wouldn't be quite as interesting.
Yeah. Then those people like Bird and Jordan and Kobe, like, they wouldn't stand out so much. They're a special breed.
As long as LeBron played hard and didn't say anything disrespectful in the media, I was rooting for him to do well.
Me too.
But then came the 2011 finals. If he would have gone to Toronto or gotten Chris Bosh to come to Cleveland, I would have been happy for him.
Me
but
too.
to team up with Dwayne Wade, who was at the time the third best player in the league, and Chris Bosh, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But even still,
A guy who in the same conference in the East won a championship and won finals MVP. You're going to team up with him. Yeah, it was a weird move. Plus, it's weird to call yourself the king when you are the one who left. You left Cleveland to join Miami, to join an actual king. You know what I mean? Like Dwayne Wade's treated like a king out there in Miami for good reason. But you joined him. What kind of king abandons his kingdom to join another king and serve under him? I don't know. It's just weird to me.
other than the Decision TV special and the not 5, not 6, not 7 championship speech, LeBron still hadn't done that much to diminish his GOAT chances. But the 2011 finals changed LeBron drastically. When we're young, we never think about how one day we'll be old. You think you'll always be in that invincible state.
Hold on.
Young, we never think about how one day we'll be old. You think you'll always be in that invincible state. LeBron had the goal of being the GOAT, famously stating he was chasing that ghost.
By the way, I don't know how old you are, Eric, but yeah, at 43, it is very, that's a fact what you just said. It's why I can't go on the basketball court too often. When I do, in my brain, I'm still like a teenager. You know what I mean? Like and it gets me into trouble because I end up getting hurt. Yeah. Getting old's a bitch.
Chicago.
Sorry.
But until 2011, I think
True.
he kind of just assumed he was heading in that direction. But after that finals, slowly but surely the reality set in that he had just had the worst finals of any superstar player in NBA history.
Yeah.
With one of the most stacked teams in NBA history.
I know. Like we give Magic crap because he had a bad game. Yeah. LeBron had a bad series, man. A bad finals.
Sure was great for all LeBron haters. But the saddest part is that I believe it permanently shifted LeBron's drive from an eye test and winning GOAT case to a stat and narrative GOAT case.
Yeah.
And once that happened, people like me who held no ill will towards him slowly but surely have lost all respect.
Yeah, Eric, I can't remember which finals it was. It was one of the ones when he was playing for Cleveland, second stint, where they lost the game, and in the post-game press conference, they asked about whatever. I forgot what the question was. They asked something about the game, and LeBron, his rebuttal was, "Well, I'm averaging a triple-double in the finals. I think I'm doing pretty good." That's like I already knew from 2011. Like he's not the type of a player I like to, he's not the type of personality I like. But when he did that confirmed it for me. He didn't even care about if they win or lose. As a leader, he didn't care. He cared about his stats. To him, that's enough. And that's why Ty Lue had to call him out, by the way, because he would always quote his stats, and he was like, "I didn't give a damn about your stats. Play better defense. Do the intangibles if you want to win the damn game."
When you talk to people that love LeBron, they mostly bring up that they just love the dunks, the power, the passing. But when you talk to them about his narratives, they agree with most of them. As I talked about in this video, the mindset of the GOAT that you have illustrates what mindset you have in life.
I agree.
And
that was a
no,
good
I don't
video.
mean that all Michael Jordan fans are serial killers.
Guys, go check out that video of his. I think it was from like 2 months ago or something like that on Eric Smith's channel. Fantastic video if you haven't seen it. I also reacted to it, and it's so damn true. Like who your GOAT is really tells a lot about who you are as a person. And we see with I'm gonna just do it. We see with a lot of LeBron fans, the lies that they tell and the lies that they know that they're full of crap, but they're willing to do it for the narrative of the guy that they chose. If they're willing to do that for somebody else, imagine the lies and the BS and gaslighting they're willing to do about themselves. So I really 100% believe that it makes a big difference. While a lot of people in our basketball community, in our comments, like we're the accountable ones, if we win, great. If we lose, we're accountable. And that goes for everything in life. We could always achieve more. And I don't know, like that's how I always feel. I never fell on my face and then blamed somebody else for it. I never did. I had to look at myself in the mirror and pick myself up and get my ass back to work. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is.
Although I'm sure there's a few. But make no mistake, if LeBron was a vastly superior player on the court to Michael Jordan, which many of us believe Michael Jordan was vastly superior, he still wouldn't be the GOAT simply because of the constant narrative pushing. Now the real question, does LeBron really strategize all this? In all the interviews and podcasts, is he really thinking through beforehand how he can change the narrative? In my opinion, absolutely yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything is calculated.
It is.
His goal is to, number one, change what the GOAT means from eye test and winning more towards stats and narrative. And number two, trying to diminish Michael Jordan. Now, many joke about people like...
It's a political move. Bring down your competition so you naturally rise up. It's the opposite of what sports used to be, because this type of political move was not part of sports. It used to be, if you wanna lower your competition, that means you need to rise up to a level far above them. Then the gap seems like it's a huge thing. You know what I mean? If I'm here and my competition's here, I need to get up here. That looks bad now. You know what I mean? That's as simple as it is. However, now with the political terms, hold on. I could be here. My competition is here, and that would be MJ. This would be LeBron. And then all we're going to do now is talk trash over here and weigh this thing down with, like, you know, whatever, boxes or whatever. Bring this down to a level now where he's lower than I am. Now I'm the GOAT. Yay. That's the political move. And that it so goes against the rules of competition that Clutch Media disgusts me. The whole operation disgusts me. You want to be the best? Go out and be the best. That's it. Somebody's in that spot and you're not in it. Don't talk trash. Get better. Beat them.
Nick Wright being on the Clutch payroll, but there is one guy who is... Many joke about people like Nick Wright being on the Clutch payroll.
Yep.
But there is one guy who is quite literally on Clutch payroll, and that is Rich Paul, the main topic of this video. As some of you know, he, along with Maverick Carter, have been the main leakers of LeBron's narratives to the media. The most famous ones being LeBron having to be sedated during a choking performance against the Boston Celtics from supposedly Delonte West hooking up with his mother. Of course, that would affect any of us.
Yeah, that one's a little dicey.
But there's also the broken wrist he played on and then put on a cast after the game.
Yep.
And that the 2016 finals...
And he said, what did he say? I basically played the game with a broken hand. Wow, that's not what you do with a broken hand. Yeah, I know. It's full of crap.
Win made him the GOAT. But recently,
Say it again.
And that the 2016 finals win made him the GOAT.
Yeah. That's the one where there was... That one right there was where, like, there's nothing... Like, I became a LeBron hater at that point, where I was just like, this guy disgusts me. Up until then, I was, I was indifferent about it. I went from a fan to being indifferent about him. I didn't care, like, what he accomplished. And then by this point, I was like, yeah, no, I really don't like this dude.
But recently, Rich and LeBron have been frustrated that not enough people have converted to the LeBron GOAT train. So Rich started a podcast with former First Take debater Max Kellerman. Their shtick is... Max says a random take, and then Rich Paul finds a way to segue it into an MJ bash or LeBron glaze.
Yeah.
This week, he had this to say.
I think Scotty's rings are just the same as Michael Jordan's. Why not?
Because he won the best player on the team.
Yeah, but he was the most impactful player on the team.
I get it.
What do you mean he wasn't?
Listen, I get it.
If you unplug Scottie Pippen off that team,
Sure.
Jordan's 0 for 6.
Not a fact. It's not. There's no... This is a hypothetical.
Could be.
Who knows? But if
That could be.
But if
It's
you
not no who
replace Scottie,
knows.
but replace Scottie Pippen with another All-Star.
This isn't a 2K simulation, Rich Paul. You can't just plug it in and say, okay, we remove Scottie Pippen from NBA history and see what happens. It's not that. This is real life. Real life happened the way it did. They played on the same team and they won 6 together.
No one does it without another All-Star.
No,
Replace him with another All-Star. He's going to win more than one.
You can replace him with another All-Star, but just because it's an All-Star don't mean it's Scottie Pippen.
No question. I'm not saying
right,
6. I'm saying, but he's going to win some.
How many All-Stars are going to be willing to take a back seat knowing
100% of every All-Star who ever lived.
that's not true? That's
If
not
you're
true.
playing with Jordan, you got no choice.
No, that's not true because, again, this is where you got to really dive into the type of player. You're talking about just All-Star, okay? remove that all-star. But you're talking about a guy that's 6'9", that plays both sides of the ball, that is 6'7", whatever. He got a 7'3" wingspan, right? He can initiate the offense. The best, you had 3 guys on that team, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, that were on the all defensive team. 3.
Ron Harper should have been on it too.
Harper.
Yeah, and who led the charge? Who set the tone for that? Who was the DPOY?
And that was after Harp had the knee issue.
I don't care what anyone says. Dennis Rodman, greatest defender I've ever seen. Yeah.
No one's arguing with
including
you with that.
Pippen. Yeah.
No. Well, again, so you had 2 guys who you can argue that was the greatest defensive players you've ever seen.
No question.
I'm not discrediting anything.
Well, let's get into that. Now, the first question is, ESPN was asking, are Scottie Pippen's championship rings as valuable as Michael Jordan's?
I think that's such a stupid question anyways. Like, leave the guys alone. Like, Scottie Pippen earned his 6 championships, yes. Stop this. Like, this type of conversation is, and I'm not making any excuses for Scottie and his behavior because it's terrible. But this kind of conversation is what led Scottie Pippen to hating Michael Jordan. We all know back then when we watched it live, all those years of them struggling, then they're at the top of the mountain, and then they're struggling without Jordan again, and then they're back at the top of the mountain for 3 more years. We saw it took both of them. It took both of them, and it took Phil, and it took everybody else playing their role to perfection and buying into the system for this to happen, for them to win. Winning a championship isn't easy. So, like, you can't just take Jordan out and think Scottie Pippen's going to win 6. And the same thing with Michael Jordan. They needed each other to win. It's a team sport. It always has been. Like how petty are we supposed to get? Like, the LeBron would have never won a championship in Cleveland if it wasn't for an all-around player like Kevin Love. Yeah, of course. It's a fact, just like everything else is, it's just how it goes. Guys, it's a team sport. You need a team to play it. You can't go 1v5 out there.
Well, if you're talking about monetary value, no, people would pay 10 times more for MJ's rings than Scottie's. If you're talking about, like, as a team, sure, Scottie was a big part of the team.
Absolutely.
But if you're talking about legacy and impact, which it seems is what Rich was trying to say, absolutely not. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Was Scottie Pippen an elite wing defender on all 6 of Michael Jordan's championship runs? Absolutely. Yep. Was he elite offensively all 6 of their championship runs? Hell no.
Agreed.
He was
elite
in random games, but not consistently.
I know, and that's why I say, like, Jordan was always going to need a guy who was dedicated on defense, because Jordan was and still is the most deadly offensive weapon we've ever seen in our lives when it comes to basketball. So you can't force Jordan to use all of his energy on defense. The crazy thing is, he still did it anyways. You know what I mean? He put just as much, if not even more, energy on defense than he did on offense because he was a monster. But you needed a guy like Scottie Pippen on the team who would that's his focus. His focus is defense, and then bringing the ball up and starting the offense. That way Jordan could play off the ball. That's it. Like, that was Scottie Pippen's role, and he did it great. Offensively, a lot of times he was a detriment. Not in facilitating, he was good. His weakness was his shot. His shot was very, very poor. But the positives far outweigh the negatives when it comes to Scottie. So I think it's the type of player Scottie is, not so much Scottie himself. It was that type of player was needed. And a type of player like Scottie Pippen is similar to LeBron James. Guys like that need a closer. That's why the relationship between him and Jordan was so good, and why it should have been between LeBron and D Wade, because he had the closer he needed, but, he abandoned him just like he abandons everyone else. It is what it is.
It's very common to say MJ had 2 Hall of Fame teammates, and yes, absolutely he did. But if you actually watch the games, which Rich Paul for sure hasn't, they both had tons of games where they did very little to no floor spacing offensively for Michael Jordan. Dennis Rodman averaged 6 points and 10 rebounds in the Bulls' finals runs from 96 to 98, including 2 points a game in the 97 finals and 3 in the 98 finals, which included several games of 0 playing almost 40 minutes. Scottie Pippen was very good offensively in 4 of their 6 championship runs, playing especially well in 92 and 93, but he did struggle a bit in 96 and 98. But to act like you could pencil him in for 20 to 25 like you could for any of LeBron's co-stars, like Kyrie, Dwayne Wade, or Anthony Davis?
That's not who he was.
Absolutely not.
No, he was more of a defensive stopper. More like what Chris Bosh's role and what Kevin Love's role was for LeBron, but different, but more closer to that. Scotty's job was not to score 25 a game. That was MJ's job.
Now, the real issue that Bulls fans had with Pippen and Rodman was their inconsistency in big moments. With Rodman, it was more, is he going to show up at practice? For Pippen, it was, is he going to be injured or be cold offensively in a big game?
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, he was not Anthony Davis injury prone, but in the 1990 Eastern Conference Finals Game 7, he famously had the migraine game. And throughout the 98 season, including the deciding Game 6, he was often injured.
Yeah.
Although I will give him credit that series for his injury mostly coming from taking charges and hard screens. The 1998
and props that, yeah. He I don't think he was going to be there for Game 7 if we're talking about 98 and the finals. But props to him for showing up for Game 6. Even though he was mainly a decoy out there, it still helped.
Finals perfectly encapsulates Scottie Pippen in the playoffs, scoring 21, 10, 10, 26, 6, and 8. Was he excellent on defense? Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Scottie was a good player. But most impactful, like Rich Paul is saying?
No.
Hell no. But here's the thing that Rich Paul and LeBron are really trying to do. I really want you guys to pay close attention on this part. They are trying to make the case that Michael Jordan was a pure scorer, that he didn't do much else, and that LeBron is just a spectacular all-around.
Yeah, that's why they tried to discredit his Defensive Player of the Year award. That's exactly why. Like, there's no other reason. That's all it was. Like, okay, let's paint him as, a singular style player, which is basically just all he does is shoot and then feed the ball hog narrative, you know. But yeah, it's a really hard argument when the guy won DPOY and then what was he, like 10-time all defensive team, I believe. You know, like, so like his defensive awards match his scoring awards. So yeah, it really blows up their narrative there. If we actually still talk about it and we remember what he did on the defensive end. And he never gets credit as a facilitator. And that's ridiculous because if you watch the games, yeah, he's getting double teamed all the time and scoring 30 still. But it's the passes he makes out of those double teams that's fantastic. You don't really see that until about, like, I'd say 1988. But by then he figured it out and he only got better at it as his career went on.
Player, thereby making him the GOAT. But guys, you have to watch the film.
Yeah.
LeBron's first GM in Cleveland tried to build a team around him the exact same mold that Michael Jordan had around him. Defenders, rebounders, and a couple shooters. And despite LeBron being a number 1 overall seed twice before he left Cleveland, he couldn't make it to the finals those 2 years. Is LeBron a better passer than Michael Jordan? Assist-wise, yes. But skill-wise, on the film, no.
I agree. Lakers LeBron forces a lot of passes and he throws a lot of grenades. Jordan was more, I'm getting to double team. I'm going to hit you wide open and in stride. I would call that a much better passer. That's more along the lines of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. I'm going to hit you wide open and you're going to have an easy bucket. That's a great passer. But yeah, LeBron, he throws grenades. He throws passes into double teams. I don't understand why. That's supposed to be the right play, but that's the way he sees it.
Michael Jordan, the whole series, his first finals. What was his assist average? 11 assists per game. This next one is really going to blow your mind. Michael Jordan got asked to play point guard after the Bulls suffered some injuries around New Year's
classic.
in 88-89. I want you guys to take 2 minutes and I'll go do this. Type Michael Jordan stats into Google. Click on Basketball Reference. Then on the left side where all the years are listed, click on 88-89. If you're watching this, my boy Real Mind Crime, go do this live.
Oh, shit.
It will open up his game log.
All right, hold up. All right, you going to call me out here, huh? You going to put me to work?
2 years in 8 Michael Jordan stats.
All right, hold on. Let's do this. All right, Michael Jordan stats. Okay. And then you said
Into Google. Click on Basketball Reference.
Basketball Reference. Basketball Reference. Okay. And then
On the left side, where all the years are listed, click on 88, 89.
get out of here. 88, 89. Okay. How awesome is that? All right, let me beef this up for you guys. Okay.
If you're watching this, my boy Real
Yeah,
Mind
yeah, that's
Crime,
me.
go do this live.
Okay.
It will open up his game logs from the 88-89 season. The first day he played point guard was January 3, 1989.
January 3rd. Okay, without looking at that screen, let's do this live. January 3rd. Okay, right here. All right. I know what he's going to be looking for. Okay, 47 minutes. Good Lord. Okay. Shot 50%. Let's see. I know we're looking for assist, aren't we? There we go. There we go. We got assist. 11. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Here's where we get the craziness, guys. 41 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, 6 steals. My boy, you let me down with 0 blocks there. 4 turnovers. He produced all that with 4 turnovers. All right. Let me see real quick. How long does this go? Oopsie.
So scroll there to start with the assist numbers. The last 2 months of the season in the playoffs.
Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going real quick. Just because he called me out to do it, let's do it. Okay, so that's the first game. Second game, 32, only 2 turnovers, 2 steals, 7 assists, 11 rebounds. That's still fantastic. While shooting 54%. Yeah, I'll take it. Okay. Third game, 27 points, 2 turnovers, 1 block, 2 steals, 4 assists. Okay, bad assist game. Let's see. Looks like a rough game altogether. How'd he shoot that night? He still shot 57%. Who'd they play? Utah. Okay. Utah killed him. All right, now next game he's mad. 48 points, 4 turnovers, 3 steals, 9 assists, and 10 rebounds. So a 48-point near triple-double. Yeah, I know what we're doing here. I know what we're doing here. When he was in a position, guys, he plays shooting guard. When he played point guard for a brief stint, he was possibly the greatest point guard we've ever seen. That's the reality of it. All right, 24 points, 6 turnovers. Bad game when it comes to that. 1 block, 3 steals, 10 assists. Total rebounds down to 4 that game. Next game, 38 points. 6 turnovers again, 3 steals, 11 assists, and 12 rebounds. Yikes. That's a near 38-point triple-double again. Next game, 42, 11 assists, 6 rebounds, 8 steals. So a 42-point, man, unbelievable. All right, next game, 22 points, 13 assists, 6 rebounds. Like, yeah, look at the assist numbers, you guys. Like, this is him when he got to play point guard. And then I'm assuming it ends right here, February 5th. That's where I'm assuming it ends, just based on the numbers, because his assist numbers go down, but they do fluctuate a lot. Wow, what is this game? 17 assists down here. What the hell? Okay, let's go back to the video. I forgot what we were doing. All right, he'll tell us how long it went. So my guess was February 5th, but it might have gone on longer.
They asked him to distribute even more. Look at those assists, LeBron stat levels.
Done.
For those too lazy to look it up, I'll just read you the assist stretch from March 11 to May 14.
Wow. Wait, March 11? Did I mess up? March 11. Oh, did I totally just botch that? Oh my God. What do we talk? 15 assists, 14 assists, 12 assists, 9, 10, 16, 9, 17, 12, 11, 10, 10, 12, 12, 10, 11, 12, 13, 12. Damn. Did I get that wrong, though? I swear he said January. That's crazy, though. Yeah, that's the stride right there.
Here we go. 15, 14, 12, 9, 10, 16, 9, 17, 12, 11, 10, 10, 12, 12, 10, 11, 12, 13, 12, 13, 12. They are both great passers, but guys, LeBron chose to do it more.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe, in my opinion, was a better passer than LeBron also, but he just chose not to pass hardly ever.
Yeah, agreed.
He believed scoring broke down the will of the opponents more than passing did. Is LeBron a better three-point shooter than Michael Jordan? If you watch the film, no. But LeBron chooses to do it more. But again, you have to watch the film.
Yeah.
You can say Dwight Howard had a better post game than Kobe because he scored more in the paint. But do any of us who watch both players think that? Absolutely not. So yes, a lot of people have been led to believe by media narratives that LeBron...
For instance, I believe wholeheartedly the greatest post center I've ever seen, like center in the post, is Hakeem Olajuwon. The guy's got an unlimited bag in the post. I don't know if the stats support it. I don't really care if the stats support it. And I to the eye test, yeah, that's the best I've ever seen in the post. I've never seen anybody with even half of that amount of moves in the post. And that's just offense.
LeBron things better than Michael Jordan, but the film just does not bear that out. Now my final point, the narrativizing itself. Guys, if you are a LeBron fan, that's fine. I'm not going to bash him personally, but let's talk about narratives. This is the real issue. Let's say LeBron and Rich Paul had an outstanding GOAT case, which Nick Wright and many others think he does. If LeBron and Rich Paul never said a word, just kept their heads down and worked hard, do you really think people would dislike them? Yeah, sure.
No, I mean, look how much love Wemby is already getting. And why? It's because, like, we miss players like this because LeBron wasn't him, you know? Like everyone is comparing his killer instinct to Kobe Bryant all of a sudden. You notice this? Nobody does that with LeBron, and nobody ever said like, "Oh, you got a killer instinct," like just like LeBron. No, it doesn't happen, guys, because we all miss this type of a player. Hopefully, he pans out. So far, so good, Wemby, and I like the mentality. But yeah, I pointed out for an obvious reason, like, yeah. LeBron just didn't have it. He just didn't have it. He doesn't have it. And very few players are killers.
Disappointed with LeBron on court at times for his not getting back on defense.
But the whole point I bring that up is look how much support Wemby already has. Very few Wemby haters. And the only ones that are hating him, they're hating him because like some Wemby fans are a little extreme by calling him the GOAT already. And that's the main reason why Wemby fans... Which, you know, I wouldn't say, like, that's a good reason to hate Wemby himself is because of the fans. Like, when it comes to LeBron, I don't like LeBron because of the things LeBron said and LeBron did. His fans just make it worse. But anyways.
Lack of development of free throws and other skills and load managing. But his sheer power and ambidextrous finishing was pretty cool early on in his career. If he won 6 championships in 6 tries and was a dominant force... Would any of us have any problem with putting him in the GOAT conversation just because we're loyal to Michael Jordan?
No, not at all. If he really was that great, I would be talking about it. Just like Tom Brady in football. Never liked Tom Brady his entire career. But at the end of the day, I still say he's the GOAT. That's just respect. That's all. You know, total respect. I'm a Montana guy. Always will be a Montana guy. And then a Peyton Manning guy. You know? But it is what it is. So if LeBron would have done that, I would have had no problem crowning him as the GOAT, but he just didn't do it.
No,
I'll tell you the truth too. Not only he didn't do it on the court, but the other reason why like I just don't like him is because, I mean, I'll go back to like my first reaction video ever. I think he's a narcissistic asshole. Like I don't like people like that. So that's the reason why I didn't want him to surpass Jordan, and I'm very glad he didn't even come close to surpassing Jordan. Because that would be a hard pill for me to swallow, but I would. But guess what? I don't have to. So I'm very happy about that. I'm mad enough with the NFL and Brady, and I have to swallow that pill. But, you know, it's earned.
Not a problem with Michael Jordan being called the GOAT just out of loyalty to Kareem, Magic, or Larry Bird. Everyone that just watched him play live knew he was the best player they'd ever seen by his 3rd season. So what's the issue with narratives? Guys, everything we do in life, we have a personal narrative on how it went. People that have never met us, who cares about their narrative?
Agreed.
People close to us that have our best interest at heart, sure, we should listen to their narrative about us. But telling the truth to ourselves about our own narrative is what really matters. LeBron claims that he studied and was inspired by Michael Jordan, thereby taking the number 23. The real problem, guys, is deep down, LeBron knows that going to the Heat and losing the 2011 finals in the fashion that he did put him in an almost impossible hole to become the GOAT.
Yep.
But it wasn't impossible like many people said it was. There is only one way he could have come out of it. He would have had to have acknowledged that while you thought you were the best player in the game in 2011, you weren't. You were possibly the best talent, but nowhere near the best mentally. And for him to have become the GOAT, he needed to tell himself the truth on that narrative and focus on building a culture in Miami, investing in young players, building a culture with Pat Riley and Spoelstra, and try to develop a dynasty there.
Yep.
Because a GOAT isn't just built on accomplishments, it's the journey. It's how you get there. In America, we always root for a comeback story. And LeBron showing some vulnerability there and some humility, we could have all rooted for him to come back from that and make a real run at becoming the GOAT.
I agree. Instead, in the press conference, he stood up there and he basically, he made fun of all of the fans who were rooting against him. You know, he's like, I got a good life. Y'all got to go back to your regular crappy lives tomorrow. That was bad start, LeBron. That was the moment right there. Or the beginning of the next season or whatever. These were the moments of your life, man, where you could have just taken accountability and say, yeah, I played like crap. That'll never happen again. And then, we find out you've been in the gym all freaking summer working on your jump shot, which is the reason why you were choking in the 2011 finals, was because you didn't have a damn jump shot. You got exposed again. This is the third time you got exposed because you didn't have a jump shot. If you were to acknowledge this and actually work on that weakness and do what Jordan did, which is the weaknesses you came into the league with are your strengths by the time you retired. If you would have done that, I would have been your biggest fan. And a lot of the haters would have come back to your side. But instead, you went political and you tried to change our minds with words and narratives. You tried to gaslight us, lie to us, and cheat the freaking game. And that's what the things that so many of us basketball fans will never forget, because we can't forget it because you're still doing it to this day. And we'll never forgive you for.
And on the court, he almost did. But his lack of self-honesty that his journey is what has held him back is why to many of us, he is not the GOAT. We can all learn a lesson from this, guys. It was easy for Michael Jordan to not have to narrativize his career because he was so obviously the GOAT, it wasn't needed. 100% of us out here are not Michael Jordan, he's one of one.
Yeah.
But hey, he did have to release The Last Dance, many people think, because he was trying to, make sure that everyone knew he was the GOAT. So most of us struggle with failure in our lives, especially me.
I mean, real quick before Eric gets into that, the comparison I can think of would have been all right, say by 1987, Jordan was, he was already so good on defense. Okay, let's go. All right, rookie MJ. Take rookie MJ. And rookie MJ was a monster. Still freaking A, man, Michael Jordan. Okay, let's just say 87 Jordan, but take away the defense. Pretend Jordan wasn't right there, ready to win DPOY yet. Okay, he was just a 37 point per game monster on offense, and that's all he did. Now imagine if his whole career, that's all he ever did. He kept doing it year after year after year. He was the best scorer we've seen, blah, blah, blah. That's the narrative around him. However, he keeps going to the finals, and he wins 4 out of 6. He wins 4 out of 10. And the only way he won those finals was by teaming up with, by building super teams and creating super teams to do it. We wouldn't have respected him nearly as much. We respect Jordan because the weaknesses he has, he compensated for, and he adapted his game for his teammates, for the system, in the spirit of winning, as a team. And then he got addicted to winning as a team and did it over and over and over again. But imagine Jordan never did any of that. All he did was be, a 37 to 40 point a game scorer. and he blamed his teammates for all of his misfortunes and his failures. Nobody, and I mean nobody, would say he was the GOAT. Not even close. People would still be chirping that Bird's the GOAT. Whatever. It's Bird or it's Kareem or it's Magic or whatever. It wouldn't be MJ. Why? Because we would look at those other guys I just listed and say, those guys are champions, those are winners. Jordan was a selfish loser. That's how it would have played out. That's how we felt back then. But it's so different when it comes to LeBron. LeBron got to skip all of this self-development, that looking yourself in a mirror after a hard loss and asking, what could I have done better? He got to skip all of that. That's not the GOAT. That's the anti-GOAT.
That everyone knew he was the GOAT. So most of us struggle with failure in our lives, especially me. But when we fail or make mistakes in our lives, don't present a false narrative to others.
Don't hide.
It feels good to save face in the moment, but after, deep down, we know it's a lie and it hinders growth. If you lost your rec league game, don't go telling your buddies, oh yeah, Jimmy turned it over with the game on the line so we lost. When you yourself missed 3 wide open threes. Be open and honest about your flaws, man up, and you will grow and thrive. And when you do that, others will respect you and your narrative will be covered. Thanks for watching, guys. Y'all are legends. Shout out to the many of you that have always leaving supportive comments. If y'all could hype the video or sign up as a member, that would greatly help me grow the channel. Much love, guys. Peace.
I know there's a lot of internet speculation about my relationships with LeBron and the people, in LeBron's orbit, and Rich and Randy, Mav specifically. Unequivocal, and even though I do a little business kind of with Rich.
Wait, what was that?
And even though I do a little business kind of.
So you do business with them. Just let's not stop lying. I hate weasels, man. Just that was the truth right there. Everything else he says is just poop. It's smothered with poop. He does business with them. That's all we need to know.
With Rich. And so now listen, again, my job's never not to be unbiased. My job is simply to, make sure the audience knows my biases. Unequivocal, and even though I do a little business kind of
with Rich. Okay, you politician. What the hell, man? Oh man, the guy's such a weasel. Guys, go check out Eric Smith's sports training channel. Link is down below in the description. Fantastic video. Thanks for putting me to a little bit of work. That was kind of fun, actually, going in there and checking those stats. To everyone watching, if I totally botched that in the beginning, my bad. I thought I was following the instructions, but maybe TRMC not too smart. I don't know, but we got there. So thank you for the patience. And Eric, thanks for calling me out, bro. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, keep kicking ass, man. And shout out to the community for throwing this video my way and bringing it to my attention. I love this whole thing we got going on here. So anyways, what do I have to say at the end? Obviously, yeah, Weasel Wright is working with Clutch. Even if it's not directly, he's working indirectly with the head of Clutch. So come on, we're not stupid. We know what that means. That's like saying I work at ESPN, but I don't directly work for Disney. No, you work for Disney, bro. Like, deal with it, accept it. Just tell the truth. That's like me saying I don't work for Google, because I could say I don't work for anybody, but that's actually a lie. Google is the platform that can banish me, shadow ban me again, do whatever they want. They are my boss, essentially. But they're my only boss. But I'd be lying if I said that Google wasn't that company. You know what I mean? When every month when I get a payment from ad revenue, it's from Google Incorporated. Is what it is. So I can't say like I don't work directly for Google. Blah blah. Yeah, whatever, dude. Just shut up. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna end it here. I think. Anything else I have to say? Not really. I mean, my only message to you is we're in a time where okay, politics used to be politics and everything else used to have its own rules. Now we've seen it bleed into the entertainment world. We've seen it bleed into sports. We've seen it bleed into like video games even. We've seen it bleed into every industry you can imagine. Everything has a political twist now to it. And that means that there's going to be a lot of disingenuous bad actors all over the place. And it sucks that that is how sports is right now, but it really is. So my only message to everybody, and I always have to remind myself of this too, because it's very easy to go down the rabbit hole of the algorithm and, start fabricate, get into an echo chamber of BS. So all I have to say to everybody is question everything, okay? Everything that you see or hear on whatever topic it is that you're interested in, we're in the social media age, okay? We are not in the Encyclopedia of Britannica days anymore. Things are different here. So whatever you hear, whatever you see, question it, okay? Now we even have to question to see, is this even real or is this AI? Your eyes will fool you. Your ears will fool you. Plenty of fake stuff out there. But beyond the fake stuff, look for the disingenuous bad actors and stay the hell away from them. That's why I can proudly say I don't watch Shannon Sharp. I don't watch Nick Wright or any of these guys. Like, I don't watch Rich Paul. I don't care what these guys have to say because it's going to waste my time because they're lying to you the entire time. So whatever it is that you hear or see, especially on the internet, question it and do your research. Because the worst thing that I see 99% of people doing is, without doing any research of their own, they simply repeat what they heard, thus creating echo chambers. And that's why the narrative is so powerful, because most people are too lazy to confirm it before they inflate it. All right, so that's all I'm gonna say at the end of this video, guys. Great video by Eric Smith. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to channel members. Like the vid on the way out if you could. Hype it if you want to amplify this message. And subscribe if you want more content like this. And most importantly, as I catch my breath, it's the be water, my friends.